Hey guys, what's up? So a lot of you guys were asking to see this video, so I wanted to come on here. Want to say I'm not a financial guy, no certifications whatsoever, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, because you should never take advice from someone that is doing videos online with zero certification. With that said, I have found some really cool, unique stuff. I'm a super finance nerd, amateur finance nerd, and one of the things I love to do is get a guaranteed 53% return on my money. And I'm going to show you guys how, because I know that sounds impossible, because it really is to even say the word guaranteed return is, I don't even think is legal. But since I'm not a finance guy, I can say that. So how does it work? I'm going to show you this on paper because I don't know how to otherwise. And I'm not a fancy YouTuber. I don't have any editing skills. So here we go. So first thing I want to talk about is what happens when you have a appreciated stock. So let's say you bought some Amazon stock in 1997 and it's now worth $10,000. So you're sitting on $10,000 worth of stock. So as you guys should know, if you're holding stock, you owe taxes on that if you really want to get your hands on it. And I'm talking about if it's not in a retirement account, if it's just in a normal investment brokerage account. You want to, let's say you want to get that money. The second you sell that, it doesn't go right to you, it goes to the IRS. The IRS is going to take a 15% if you're a normal income. I think it's 20% higher for the rich people. 15% IRS takes. So that means you're left with $8,500. That's what you would have in your hands if you wanted that cash. So you don't really have 10 grand to your name. You really only have 8,500 at the end of the day. I'm going to start there, okay? Once you guys understand that concept, it makes this a little easier. So instead of selling the 10 grand and giving the IRS money up front, let's do something called a charitable trust. And if you guys have heard me before, you know, well, I probably don't talk about it enough, but I'm really into charity. Kelsey and I try to donate as much as possible of our income. Some of you guys, religious-based, might do a tithe, 10%. That's amazing if that's what you're doing. But honestly, if it's only 3%, 5%, just work your way up. Donate as much as possible, because the more you donate, the more money will come to you. So anyways, let's say you get this 10 grand, same exact 10 grand as before. It's your Amazon stock that was $0 and now it's gonna be 10. You're gonna put it into what's called a charitable trust, and they're super easy to set up. I have one in Fidelity. Literally, it takes like 30 seconds because Fidelity is amazing, but I'm pretty sure you can do it at any brokerage. It's called the charitable trust, and what happens is when you pledge this into a trust, the IRS considers this a charitable donation. So it's 2019. I'm going to do this at the end of the year of 2019. That means whenever you file your taxes, if you file in April or October, the IRS thinks you just reduced your income by 10 grand. So it's going to give you a check. The IRS is now paying you. Depends on your tax bracket here, but you know, most of us are in the 22 to 24%. That's like, you know, that's the average income. And then if you're in California, you're paying 10% state. If you're in Rhode Island, you're paying 9 or whatever. So let's say, you know, just for easy math, 30% is your tax rate, because that's what probably most of you are. So IRS, come April or October, is going to give you a check for $3,000 because you just reduced your income by 10 grand. So let's say you made 100 grand. Instead of paying $100,000, 30% of 100, you're now paying only 30% of 90 grand. So your savings is 30% of 10 grand, which is 3 grand. So now you're sitting on $3,000 cash. This is you. This is you in April. I'll even write it. April 2020. Up here is December 19. Oh, by the way, disclaimer: hire an accountant, because you shouldn't be trusting anything I'm saying right now without talking to an accountant. So you get 3 grand cash. That's great. What happens in the trust? The trust is worth 10 grand. This trust can invest in stocks. So you can come over here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, this is Amazon shares. This is Amazon shares. This is cash. So your Amazon shares go to the trust. The second they go into the trust, they actually convert to cash for a second, but you can do whatever you want with that. You can invest this 10 grand into Amazon. You can do it into, S&P 500 funds, international, whatever the heck you want. So now you get 10 grand. Now here's the beauty of this. So you get 3 grand cash, 10 grand in this trust. You have $13,000 to your name because you still control the trust. Not to your name, I misspoke there. It's actually 3 grand to your name. The trust technically owns the 10 grand, but you control the 10 grand. You control it. You have 13 grand, and I'm going to get into what you're going to do with that in a second, but just the quick math on this. So you got 13K minus your original investment. Remember, you only had 8.5K here. You only had 8,500 minus 8.5K is 4.5K. Okay? So your profit or whatever, your return is 4.5K over 8.5K. I cheated and did the math earlier. It's 53%. You had $8,500 in December 2019. And 4 months later, you have $13,000 in your control. Now, I know a lot of you guys, especially you nerds, are probably going to call me out right now because you're going to say, well, technically you still need, this isn't your money. This is going to a charity. But to be honest, I just thought it was really cool. 53% return. I can turn $8,500 into 13 grand. But let's talk about the trust real quick, just because you're probably wondering what the heck you're going to do with this. This is really cool because you can just donate like you normally do today. Just donate. For example, if you have a favorite charity, I donate a lot of money to this foundation called The Casa, and they help kids who have poor families. Donate to alma maters, all that good stuff, and then pretty much anyone that asks for money, I'm going to give it to them, and if I care about it. So anyways, bottom line, you want to, you also might be saying, hey, I don't have stocks. I don't have 10 grand worth of Amazon. Or maybe I don't have the massive, $0 to $10,000 capital gain. That's fine. The math is similar. It's still same flow, just a little different. So anyways, the big thing is here. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have stocks, go get stocks. Let them appreciate. Put those appreciated stocks into trust. So, pledge them to a trust. And then you're gonna, anytime you're gonna donate to cat, you minimize how much you donate cash, and you always just use your trust for donations. Anyways, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and keep giving to charity, keep making money, and keep changing the world. See ya.